This London primary school has improved both behaviour and academic performance by taking sport into children's playtime. Brettenham School in Edmonton, North London. Walk through the empty corridors during lessons and you're struck by one thing. Posters and displays on every wall promoting respect, tolerance and self-discipline. It's at the heart of what the school is all about.
We aim high and we set high standards, and we hope that the children will sort of rise to those standards.
The silence during class time is deceptive.
And green group, will you be coming? Will.
At assembly, you get a taste of things to come. Year 4 is giving its rendition of the reign of Henry VIII. In Brettenham, everyone is expected to have the self-confidence to get up and perform both inside and outside the school.
Henry VIII was a big fat man. He loved to stuff his face in the frying pan.
We've had lots and lots of workshops, skipping workshops, football workshops. We've had footballers coming in from Tottenham, after-school clubs.
Right foot, right foot.
The inspiration behind the school's exuberant atmosphere comes from one thing: physical education. Brettenham promotes a range of sports beyond the traditional games-based curriculum. Archery, climbing, scaling the heights of an artificial wall, reaching for the sky on a bungee trampoline. Such activities stimulate children's sense of adventure and encourage those who might otherwise be reluctant to take part.
We make sure that all our PE lessons are fully inclusive, all children are involved. We often differentiate activities for different groups, and the children all move at their own pace, but they're all being challenged constantly.
One at a time, you're going to play a rally.
They're being challenged by adults who ask key questions. They're being challenged by adults who are talking about performance and improving performance all the time. And the children really, really thrive on it.
But besides performance, staff are also careful to coach children in the basics that underline sport: teamwork, communication, and above all, abiding by the rules.
So if we've got the net here, and we're playing our opponent, and I receive the ball here, do I want to go down the line?
In all aspects that we do within sport, we're trying to get them to understand the rules and the sporting code and ethics that we've got, and we think it has got them more active, it's got their minds more active, and it has produced better results within the classroom as well.
Other schools emphasise the core skills aspect of PE, but what makes Brettenham unusual is the way staff have used sporting qualities to boost the performance of the school as a whole. And they've done it by taking the rules of the game both into the classroom and, crucially, onto the playground. The process starts here in the zone part.
Red zone is a hardball zone, so we would have football, netball, volleyball, dodgeball, hockey, those sort of hard, fast games. Blue zone's more for the little ones. We do skipping, a tag ball game, loads of different balance boards and things like that in there.
The zones are used at break times for what staff call active play. Active play is structured and guided by play leaders.
Can we pick somebody one of the
And according to Lisa Lockyer, there's one reason why the children respond so positively to it.
Because we have set games, I think that's why they're not just left to their own devices. It took a little bit of time and effort, obviously, in the beginning, but it just works. It just works fantastically. It really, really does.
The main reason active zone-based playtimes work is because, just as in playing sport, the regime offers a clear set of rules to the children.
It's really important that they have their own space and at clear areas with clear boundaries and very, very defined rules about what you can and can't do at lunchtime, where you can and can't play, so that the children feel safe, they feel secure and they have fun.
Well done.
From time to time, things do get a little out of hand, but teaching assistants are there to head off trouble, to allow the play leaders to carry on leading the play.
If any incidents occurred during their game or around them, they would contact one of us and we would be over there straight away, so their play would continue.
Running playtime in this way meant a radical change in the role of the teachers' assistants.
The TAs didn't operate at lunchtime, and this was a new initiative that I wanted to bring in because they'd worked with the children in the morning. They knew about the moods of the children, they knew how the children were feeling, they knew if there'd been any problems at home the evening before. So they were able to go out and actively get involved with children who were vulnerable or who were feeling a little bit more aggressive or violent than normal.
Break time at Brettenham now gives all the children the opportunity to be as active as they want to be, taking part in the games they want to play. But even energetic 8-year-olds need a bit of peace and quiet, and for that, there's the yellow zone.
Some children want to run around and let off their energy, but here they can just be quiet, relax, escape from schoolwork, really, so that they can just be themselves for an hour.
In the play zones, unusually, all ages mix together. Doesn't that open the door to accidents, or worse, bullying?
Not at all. When the zones first got introduced, I hadn't long started here. And when they said Key Stage 1 and Key Stage 2 was going to mix together, I thought, oh. But it's fantastic because you get the Year 6 boys as well as girls saying, excuse me, mind that little one. So it's no bullying at all.
We were quite nervous before we introduced the younger ones to mix with the older ones in red zone and blue zone. We were all ready for things to go wrong, but it was fine that week. The older children loved it because they could talk to the younger ones and involve them and felt really grown up and mature in that way. And the younger ones loved to be involved.
The improvement in behaviour that has followed in the wake of active playtimes is little short of astonishing. Brettenham is an inner-city school with all the usual challenges.
We have a very mixed intake of children from all kinds of ethnic backgrounds, many different religions, many different cultures and many different languages. Where the school is within Edmonton is in one of the most socially and economically deprived areas of the borough.
Did you enjoy that? Yeah. You got a little prize.
Small wonder, perhaps, that children brought up in neighbourhoods like these found it hard to settle at school. Disruption was commonplace, particularly in the afternoons.
They were often children who were fighting, quite aggressive. They'd spend time trying to irritate other children who were playing nicely. They'd often try to intimidate adults that were in the playground.
Deborah and I talked a great deal about it, particularly as it was infringing on our afternoon work, because the pair of us would be spending anything up to an hour and a quarter every afternoon sorting out fights and arguments among groups of children.
But high-rise children, with no other outdoor space, readily responded to a structured use of time in the playground.
Children are more settled in the afternoons, they concentrate on their work more, and because we've not got a school full of fighting at lunchtime, there's not problems to sort out either after lunch.
And will for Green Group.
Building on this improvement, staff soon discovered that learning needn't stop in the classroom. It can be taken out into the playground.
We look at the curriculum as being from the moment the children enter school to the moment they leave, and they spend 25% of their time in the playground, and that's just like an extra classroom to us, and we have to use people effectively to make sure that learning happens there.
But as you look around all this activity, one thing strikes home: the number of adults involved to make it work. Teachers, play leaders, TAs, specialist coaches, sports assistants.
People are key. We spend a lot of time training our staff and getting them to work as a team. We build in time into their day so that they can talk about issues and problems. We also spend a lot of time training in-house so that everybody knows what we're aiming for, how they've got to achieve it, what the standards are, and how we keep it going, how we maintain it.
Not just the equipment, the bodies with it as well. They needed to be taught how to play the games. Nearly back.
For this level of professional participation, you need one thing: money. Deborah Hall realised that there was one way to get it: exploit the funding opportunities made possible by the school's location.
We apply for everything that we can, really. We look at the behaviour improvement programme.
You ready? Let's go.
We actually went to local firms and asked if they could help out. We contacted the company who are regenerating the area at the moment. So we spoke to everybody, and people were very kind and people helped out. The main money for the programme came from the behaviour improvement programme. And we had to stick very carefully to the action plan. We had to make sure we used the money for the appropriate things. We purchased some key resources which were new, which were the children had spoken about at meetings and said that they would like those activities, and we had those in the playground. And immediately there was a reduction in the number of accidents, a reduction in the number of incidents, and the children were very, very more focused in the afternoon.
It's the end of another day at Brettenham. Children file into the school hall once again. It's the weekly awards ceremony. Another knock-on from sport.
We start off with the attendance award, and this week it's 3L.
As a reward for academic achievement, good behaviour or overall performance, children get Olympic-style medals.
Let's have the girls' football team out and have their report about their match this week.
Out through the game, there were some passes going on. Then Bestay passed to Alceda, and Alceda passed to Tasmin, and Tasmin passed back to Bestay. And Bestay done a wonderful shot.
The constant reference to sport is this school's way of improving both behaviour and academic performance. And by looking at the children's faces, you know it works.
I think the key thing that we offer these children here is, for many of them, it's the one constant thing in their lives. Whilst many other things may be changing outside, beyond their control and our control, what we offer here is stability and continuity for them, and hopefully a good education and a school that they come into and they're happy.